There are so many exciting things going on. We've had so many technical difficulties today on Prime Day that I'm just about to have my head just swimming all over the place. So if you could bear with me just a minute, and I'm going to get right with you. I will be right back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let's see here. I need to share something right here. And you're like, okay, security lady, what's going on? We're ready to hear about all these amazing, exciting things that are going on. And okay, first we're going to start with a sponsored product. I know you love these type of products in the health and wellness industry because the security lady, me, I help people to gain confidence by empowering them through the use and knowledge of the latest technology as it relates to personal protection, home business security, and total life wellness. Today, we're going to be speaking with an amazing gentleman, and I don't even know what to say about this person because they have so much. They've helped so many people in so many different ways in the world, as an international world, in personal protection, in home business security, in lifestyle changes, you name it. And part of lifestyle changes for the security lady and the mission that I have on the total life wellness side, as well as the personal protection side, are taking care of my body and taking care of my health. So this stream is actually sponsored by Simple Wonders, the gummies. These gummies are so amazing. When I first thought about trying them, I thought, I don't know. Because I drink apple cider vinegar, take a couple of teaspoons every so here and there because I know it does a lot for my body. It helps my body feel so good. It's got a lot of things in the apple cider vinegar that helps with the digestive system and so many other things that are so helpful in getting rid of the toxins. Just a wide variety of things. When taking any supplements, make sure you check with your doctor, your healthcare professional, so that you aren't taking anything that can actually hurt the things that you're already taking, supplements that you already may possibly have. These things are so delicious. They are sweet. You would never know that you're actually taking a supplement that does some positive things for your body. So these are the Simple Wonders apple cider vinegar gummies, 120 naturally flavored apple gummies, gelatin-free, plant-based, and you would never know that you're not eating candy. You may be saying, security lady, I don't like candy. This is going to amaze your taste buds. So go ahead and click on any of the links in the carousel, and you can go to Simple Wonders apple cider vinegar gummies and get you a bottle. And don't forget, right now it is Prime Day, and we're slowly but surely coming into that final stretch of Prime Day. Moving to the carousel, we're going to start with the first product. Let's see what this first product is. Let's go here. Like, okay, what is she going to show us? What kind of exciting personal protection product are we going to see next? Because we've had some great days. Look back at these past streams. If you weren't able to make it some of the earlier streams, look at some of these streams because you're going to see some people talking about some products that will just knock your socks totally off. We're going to start here with the Streetwise security product. This one is great for people that are in the industry, where you're in the security industry, law enforcement professional industry. Highlighting this one right here. And I'm going to check back over here for a second. If you need the extra sense of security to know whether or not people are bringing in weapons, bringing in knives, bringing in assault things, anything that may not be conducive to the environment of which you are protecting, whether on your job or whether doing an in-kind service, right? Protecting the perimeters, the boundary, the clubs, the schools. This can be used as a device to detect unwanted metal and unwanted devices within the place that you are trying to keep safe. It is a handheld metal detector. If you aren't familiar with those, usually if you're around the house, you don't really need that unless you drop like pins or like safety pins, things that are going to cause damage to your body, hurt you, step on it, nails. If you want that for those type of things, it can be a good thing. It can help to keep surroundings safe and free from objects that you could hurt yourself with. Going into a place, though, this is a great tool to have. I used one years ago and followed the directions, built to last, as it says, and also great to give as a gift to a security. So if you know somebody that's in security or in the law enforcement profession arena, you can give that to them as a gift and let them know you care about them. Let them know that they are there and you want them to keep being able to serve and protect. If you have somebody at the gate of your subdivision where you live or your apartment complex, it's a great gift. You can just give it to them as a gift and they will be amazed and just absolutely love you forever. And here we have, as you heard me give a little spiel here, talking about some things, we have the man himself who can talk to you personally about this product. Feel free to ask him any questions. We're going to bring him on live right now. Hello, Mr. Ray Gilbarte. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you in person, real life, for the first time. I've dealt with your company for many years, and the products have just served me and my business very well. And now, you know, you heard the phrase that if you can't beat them, join them.
All right.
Well, the things that I would sell for 150, 200, 299, Amazon was able to kind of sell them for 120, 99, 50, and so couldn't compete. And I'm just absolutely enjoying this journey and enjoying being able to speak with people like you and having the privilege and the honor to have you up here to help educate people on what you do in these amazing products.
Okay, well, great. Likewise, it's my privilege to speak with you.
Thank you so very much. Well, first of all, let's say, how did you get involved with this cutting edge technology and Streetwise, and how did that all come about in your life?
Well, how much time do we have? I got the long version or the short version.
You know, I am at your service. Okay, this is the final one until 6 o'clock, so I'm at your service.
Okay. Well, it is kind of a long story, but I'll give you the condensed version. I went to college and kind of went through one of sort of a meaning of life crisis, trying to figure out, you know, what everything was about, who I was about, what I was supposed to do, kind of, you know, who am I, where am I, where am I going, and ended up becoming a Christian in college, just trying to read the Bible, and from that, kind of some pieces started falling together, and really had a big heart change. And I thought, well, I wanted to do things that I could help people that were confused like I was, kind of find, you know, their way in life. So I decided I was interested in business at the time, and I was just a freshman in school. So I changed my major to psychology. So I'll be able to help kids. Primarily is what I felt drawn toward, that were, you know, young and confused like I was. So I became a psychology major, and then I graduated with a psychology degree. And then I went and did something for the summer, and I came back at the end of the summer and went to a college, went to the college like placement recruiting place and asked them if they had any jobs where you could be like a residential counselor and help kids. And the lady said, no. She said, I've heard of jobs like that, but we don't have any right now. And just then the phone rang, and she picked it up and got a real strange look on her face. And she said, there's a guy here asking about a job like this. So anyway, through that call and through that contact, I ended up becoming a residential counselor at a group home for teenage kids. So I did that I lived there from Sunday evening until Wednesday afternoon. I lived with the kids that they were like violent, aggressive kids that couldn't be in group homes, kind of like the more troubled kids. So I did that, and then so I was off Thursday and Friday. So I liked the job and didn't have anything to do those 2 days off. So I said, well, I need to start something part-time. And at that time, pepper spray had just come out. The police had used tear gas, and there was a demand for pepper spray. And being in the college town for 4 years, I didn't see any places near the campus that sold any pepper spray. So I found a company. Well, I was going to say online, but there was no online back then. That was in the late 80s, early 90s. And so I don't know, it was a book or something. I found a manufacturer of pepper spray and called them and ordered like 50 units and put them in my car and drove around to some stores and said, hey, I've got this pepper spray. Would you like to buy some to sell around campus? And surprisingly, a lot of the stores, said yes. And I ended up developing a route where I would charge a certain amount of money if they took it on consignment, or if they wanted to buy it, it was a little bit less. And so I started doing that during the 2 days off, and I did that for 6 months. And then after about 6 months, the group home closed. They lost money. They lost their funding from the state and had to close. So I was pretty much forced to go full time, and then started basically adding products, adding the distance that I was traveling because I had more time to do it. So I was spending a lot of time on the road, a lot of time in hotels. And then eventually that led to doing wholesale trade shows where we got before larger groups of people. They started coming to me rather than me trying to go everywhere, servicing all these customers. And then I transitioned from selling other people's products to design our own line. And now we've got about 500 products in our brand. We've developed 3 brands, and it's about 500 products total with all the different things that we sell. So it's just kind of small steps over a long period of time. It's been 31 years, and so fortunately been blessed, and it's grown a lot. And so I've been grateful for the journey I've been able to be on.
Wow. Wow, that is really, so you started, it kind of is somewhat, but a totally different platform. It reminds me of the Colonel with Kentucky Fried Chicken. The difference is you started having people that actually wanted to see it. And I almost forgot about the days that they used just tear gas.
Yeah. So that was before pepper spray.
Right.
Because the pepper spray, the tear gas worked more on physical pain, whereas the pepper spray was more physiological. It caused the eyes to swell closed and restricted all but life support breathing. So it was a much more effective product. And it just happened to be the time that I was looking for something to do. The time was just perfect time for that product because people kind of heard about it, that the new pepper spray was a thing and wanted it, but they couldn't find it anywhere. So I just happened to things fall in place at the right time to be able to provide those products. So yeah, that was part of the journey. And then it was a lot changed when we started doing our own brands, and we eventually found suppliers in China that made a lot of the products. We were able to do our own and get our own brand going, and that was a an important transition for the company as well. To be able to.
Is your brand? I'm not sure, but I think so, but I could be wrong. Is the Kitty your brand?
It is, yes. We private label. We don't manufacture that. There's a small company that actually makes them, and they gave us the rights to label it with our brand and the exclusive distribution for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's in that bag, which is a little. The packaging is not the best for that for that product. We have another one it's called the Sharky.
I know, I have it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and that's one that we did, in our brand as well. That has the different striking points, and that's a pretty neat item. But yeah, a lot of those keychain ones have gotten really popular.
They have huge. And when did you decide? At what point did you decide to? Well, no, because you don't actually put them on Amazon. These sellers that come to you to get them put them on Amazon, correct?
Yeah. So we sell wholesale to them, and then they sell retail on Amazon, or a lot of people do flea markets, or gun shows are very popular. There's gun shows throughout the country, and people can set up there at a gun show and make a lot of money, on a weekend selling stun guns and knives and pepper spray and self-defense things like that. So a lot of our customers will do that, and then just a lot of individual stores. We don't really sell to any big chain stores, but we sell to some smaller chains and hardware stores, pharmacies, Army Navy stores, some gift shops. Just a lot of the ones that we developed, that little more feminine ones, the more feminine colors, and we developed some nice displays that stores can use to put them, in their shops and stores, and that's worked out pretty well.
That's one thing that I found, that it appeals to so many different people. You appeal to men, you appeal to women. You have things like the product I'm going to highlight right now. If you could talk to a little bit about that one, because so many women out here want to be protected, and I call it like a pretty in pink collection. And I'm so glad and thankful that your sellers actually have these on Amazon, because that makes it international. I know as an Amazon influencer and creator, I love being able to get this out here and to let people know you can go to Amazon. Amazon ships anywhere in the world for the most part, and you can order. I was in the Dominican Republic, and I had somebody want one of the pins, that pin that, oh, no, let me go back here. Had one of the, let me highlight that so people know what I'm talking about. Has one of these pins, the Streetwise Security Products Streetwise pin, the pain pin. And she was like, wow, that is really a stun gun? I'm like, yes. So could you tell us a little bit about this, how you came up with this idea? Why would somebody even want to carry this, and how would they keep safe carrying this?
Right. Yeah, we have a tagline. We have another model we call the Ladies' Choice model, and our tagline on that is self-defense never goes out of style. So the idea that you don't have to carry a big police baton or something, to have something to be able to protect yourself that is very discreet and just there, when you need it. But really the key for any type of self-defense thing like that is to have something that's accessible. If it doesn't matter how good it is, if it's at the bottom of your purse at the time you're going to need it, it's not going to be able to help you. So it needs to be accessible. It needs to be quickly be able to get to it quickly and activate it quickly, because typically you don't have that much time to be able to think through the process. So we tell people, if it's at night and you're going either to and from your car, to have it out in your hand, or if nothing else, to have it clipped to a purse or something like that where you can access it quickly. That's the appeal, I think, of a lot of the keychain type self-defense things. But this particular product, the pain pen, is small, it's narrow, it's a little thicker than a pen, but not quite as thick as a marker, and it has a metal clip on it, which is nice because it can be clipped to a pocket or to a belt, or to a purse, somewhere in the purse. That way the person knows right where it is every time. They don't have to fumble around. They know if there's something happens, it's on the right side toward the bottom, or wherever it is, they can go right there and be able to grab that quickly. And then it has a safety that you just take the safety off, and you're able to press down and then touch it to the person to immobilize them. So that's some of the advantages of that one, is just the small size, the compactness, and then also it's 3 or 4 different colors. So a lot of people kind of like that, just to be able to blend with their clothing or their purse, or just their favorite color.
Wow, that is so cool. For those of you who are just joining, if you were at the beginning, I'm Candy Perry, the security lady, and I help people to gain confidence by empowering them through the use and knowledge of the latest technology, like what President and CEO Ray Gilbert of Streetwise Security Cutting Edge Technology is here talking about, through these products, and learning and being educated so that you know how to use some of these things as it relates to personal protection, home business security. Right now, he just went over the security pin, and you can get these things right here. You can click on the carousel. For those of you on Amazon, if you click right up here, where you see right here, there is a follow button on Amazon here. You can follow that, and you can learn about these things, and you can get updates and notifications whenever I'm on here talking about these products in different areas. So that is a really good thing about following. So do that. For those of you who are right now watching us from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, you don't have that. It looks like I'm just kind of pointing up into the air, my fingers bouncing around, and you don't have the carousel. For those of you who don't know, who are new, because this is Prime Day, so we have a lot of you guys out here shopping for cool stuff, and every single thing in this carousel, Mr. Ray Gilbarty, President and CEO of this company, can actually answer your questions. So this is the time, guys. Unlike any other time in the world here on Amazon, straight from the security lady, you can leave a message in the chat and ask any question you want. No question is a dumb question. It's only a dumb question if you don't ask and something happens and you think to yourself, I had an opportunity to ask and I did not take it. So we are talking about these products. The stun guns are just huge because people think, I hear a lot of people in all my years, I retired from law enforcement just recently, but in all my years, you hear people say, I got a taser. I have a taser. I'm going to tase them. And they don't have a taser at all. Can you talk to us a little bit about the difference between a taser and a stun gun?
Sure. Thank you for your service, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So Taser is a brand name, something like Kleenex would be for tissue. So Taser is a brand. They're based out of Arizona, and they make a stun gun that still a stun gun, but it shoots out prongs about 15 feet. So it shoots out. There's two little wires attached to prongs that go into someone's clothing, and you can push the trigger on the handheld part of it when it shoots out. Then you control the how much electricity goes in, not how much, but how long it goes into, on depending on what the different model is. Some just go for a certain amount of time. Other ones you're pushing a button to do the electricity. But the difference is that the Taser shoots out a distance, whereas the stun gun is a handheld device that you have to touch the person for it to be effective. But there's a big part of the stun gun too is just the deterrent effect, especially at night if someone's approaching you and they see you have a stun gun, and if you can do what's called test firing, you can zap the stun gun, and so it makes a loud sound, and people can see the electricity going across the two contact points, and they can hear it, and that's just a very intimidating sound and look. And the majority of the people, that will be enough to deter them. And then if not, and they kept coming, then you just touch them with the stun gun. So that's the main difference between a Taser and a stun gun.
So how do you, when you mentioned the prongs and touching the person, I've heard stories that the electricity can actually jump into a person, or that you can hold on to people and it stuns the whole entire person, group of people, if you're holding people. Is that an old wives' tale? Is that, just something that has just been made up, or does that really happen?
Yeah, no, fortunately it doesn't transfer to another person. So if you're stunning someone and they touch someone next to them, or they touch you, that electricity is not going to be transferred back to you. It just stays in that particular person.
What if, and I'm just addressing some things that people hear, listening to friends and listening to everybody else, we're trying to get the truth from reality. What about water? If they're in water and they activate their stun gun, will that stun them while they're in the water?
Oh, you mean if they touch the water with their stun gun? Just because just activate it in the air, it's certainly not going to do it. I haven't heard that one before. A person standing in water and touching the water with their stun gun. That I'm not sure about. I would think though, by just traveling that extra distance, if there was an effect, it would be very mild. But hopefully, no one's going to shock the water that they're in, because it is electronic. So hopefully, people are keeping that away from water. But that's a new one.
Okay. If a person has, this has been a big question that people have asked a lot of, and so to hear from you, it may mean more than what it means to hear it from me. If they are sprayed with pepper spray and they stun the person too, does that have a greater effect?
Well, it used to be back, 10 years ago, the propellant that was used in pepper spray or tear gas was flammable. And there were some cases where people were pepper sprayed and then it wasn't enough to get them to comply, and they had to be tased, and it caught them on fire. Since then, because of that reason, now they've changed, and all the pepper spray brands and formulas are water-based, so they're no longer flammable. But just the fact that you have the individual benefit or effect of the pepper spray and tear gas, but there's no like combined. Just if you spray somebody first and then you stun them with the stun gun, it doesn't increase the effects of the pepper spray. You just have the the effects of both on that particular person.
Does it have a worse effect on a youth? Because you hear that the youth body is different. If you have a 16-year-old youth that's 220 pounds and 6'1", will it still have the same effect on him as it would on a man?
Yeah, so there is a little bit of variation, in the effectiveness of them, and tasers are most effective just the way that they're designed, and the technology that goes into that in terms of being able to capacitate a larger amount of people. And then the other impact is how long you hold it to a person. They'll have more impact on the person. Obviously, the longer you hold it, the more effect it would have on them. But yeah, there's a certain percentage of people, for whatever reason, that it has a lesser effect on than others. So it could be that someone maybe who is larger, stronger, the effect of that one could be less than another person. There is a variety of factors that come into play. So it's just important to have either have the taser, or you have a good quality stun gun. That's going to increase your chances of being able to put that person down. Once you hold it to them, they say typically 3 to 5 seconds is what it takes, constant time, to be able to actually immobilize a person.
Okay. Now, some places have tiny little stun guns, and even you have one that's in here. Let me see. Some places have tiny little stun guns, and even you have one that's in here. Let me see. Some places. That was odd.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
That was really odd. Okay, that was really odd. Okay, that was really odd. Okay, it's still. That was really odd.
I have an echo.
It's still.
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 I have an echo.
Okay, is the echo still there?
Let's see. Well, it sounds better.
That was strange. That was really strange. Okay, back to business here. The tiny one. Let me see if I can find that one that you have, because I know people have questions about. There it is. The Streetwise, that simple one.
Simple one.
The tiny little square.
Oh, called Square Off, I think.
Square Off, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, just about. What's the question about that one?
Tell us a little bit about the square, because it's so tiny. Can it really be effective?
Yeah, I mean, again, on all the models, you do have the deterrent effect, again, of the sound that it makes, of the electric charge glowing at night. The electric sound is very intimidating. Sometimes the smaller the ones are, it'll have a little less of an impact on the person. So you kind of have a trade-off with something that is smaller and easy to be on a keychain, or easy to get to have all the time, versus a larger, real large one that would have a greater impact on the person. But if it's so much larger, you might not carry it all the time, or be easy to get to. But typically we hear a lot of good reports of the smaller ones, working well and being very effective, but not as effective as a larger stun gun. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there for the convenience of the size.
Now, I noticed that the small ones, even the small ones that I've purchased from you in the past, they have a wallop of a sound. They still have a very huge sound that could deter somebody from trying something.
Right. Yeah. So they do. Yeah, they do have they are strong, and I guess you want to just be sure you use there's a reputable brand that you're buying, because there are a lot of ones that look similar. Even some of the casing or the molding is similar, but just what goes on the inside, maybe it's not as much of the battery or the strength or the power of the capacitor that makes the charge there on the stun gun. So we just want to be sure that it is a reputable brand. But even the little ones, yeah, are certainly effective as well.
And one of yours that's gaining a lot of traction that I hear a lot of people talk about and people ask me questions about when I'm doing my live stream is the Jolt. Tell us
Okay.
about the Jolt series.
Yeah, so the Jolt is just it's another brand that we came out with. That one we had the Streetwise one was one that we had longest. We have the most in that one, and then we came out with the Jolt series where we really have a whole line there in the Jolt, from small keychain ones on up to large baton style. And I think our largest, one of our largest ones in there, we call it the Mega stun gun, is one that's a large baton. It's probably about 18 inches. That's very big. It's the JM100. I think we call it the Jolt Mega as one of our biggest ones. So yeah, the Jolt series has been real popular.
Okay, now I just highlighted that baton. He's speaking, is that the baton, the Streetwise security products at Jolt Mega Stun flashlight?
Yes, that's right.
Wow, that's a serious looking flashlight.
Yeah, right. So that one's kind of a dual baton and stun gun combined. So you have the ability to strike, obviously, with the baton, and has a flashlight, and you also have the ability to do the stun. So that's a pretty substantial product there. But again, downside is it's big and fairly heavy just to be taken with you, all the time. So if you're going to be going maybe for a walk at night, with a dog, or going to a place that you felt more nervous, that might be something that that you could take, and but not probably an everyday carry, just because of the size of it.
How effective are these against animals?
Very effective. Also with against animals, and that is one advantage of some of the batons, is the reach that it gives you. So with a dog being smaller and quicker, a small keychain one, they're still going to be impacted even by the sound, and the sight of it's going to be intimidating to a dog. But it'd be nice to have more of a reach, and that's kind of what some of our baton styles do. Like we have them, in between the little keychain ones are that big, up to foot or foot and a half long, and then again you just kind of have to say, okay, well, what's the how comfortable it is, how likely am I to carry it, with the size of it, and just find something that's comfortable. But particularly with animals, it's good to have a longer reach, so you have more space between you and the animal.
Okay, do you have any suggestions on how a person can know which stun gun is best for them?
I would say, it's kind of like the question, what's the best Bible to read, and or the best version of the Bible? And I would say the one you're willing to read is the best one. So I guess, similar to the one that you would use, you'd be most likely to carry. If you think, well, I like the idea of having a big baton, but you're not going to carry it, then it's not going to do you any good if it's sitting home, on a shelf, or it's under your seat of your car, which you could keep it there, for just if someone were to approach your car, you could grab it from underneath the seat or the seat next to you or something. But you also want one that's going to kind of be your go-to, one that you get used to, to carrying with you all the time. Again, so we have a lot of keychain ones. We have ones that are even one that's disguised like a cell phone. So, it doesn't look like you're carrying anything. You could take that and be more discreet with it. We have one that looks like an umbrella. There's different units like that, even little ring, kind of, we call it the sting ring, that kind of go over your knuckles, that are, most of it's concealed inside the palm of your hand. So if you're jogging or if you're walking and you don't want someone to see you've got a big stun gun with you, then those concealed ones come in real handy for that type of thing. So really just looking at the size, and you don't want it to be something that you want it to be something that you think looks nice, so that you will take it with you, use it. So I think that's where the size and type and color come into play, just to be sure that you have it with you, because again, it's not doing any good if it's not with you at the time that you need it.
Right. Exactly. Now, in reference to, because I know over, for example, in the Dominican Republic, when I was there, a lot of people wanted to order some of the stun guns. And I
Mhm.
talked to the law enforcement over there. The stun guns are there perfectly. From the law enforcement officers that I spoke with and looking at the law, this perfectly fine to have them over there. Because Amazon ships internationally, can they order it? Like, for example, could they click on one of these products and it be sent to them overseas, or is that up to the individual seller on Amazon?
Yeah, it should not be sent overseas.
Ah,
The reason is, in order to legally export the stun gun, you have to have what's called an export license, and that is we have to get an export license for each individual customer. And basically, it's a vetting process that the government signs off on, and they say that this person, they've checked them out and they're able to have it. So like we have some stores in Dominican Republic, for example, that sell the product, and they've gone through that process, and we can ship to them. But in terms of Amazon going to an individual user, um, that there's a pretty hefty fine if someone were to do that, especially from the Department of Commerce. They're the ones that issue the export licenses. So yeah, that would, unfortunately, that would be a no-no.
and for everyone who's listening in here, again, I'm Kenny Perry, the security lady, and I help people gain confidence by empowering them to use the knowledge of the latest technology like this as it relates to personal protection and home business security. And we're here speaking with Ray Gilbarte, the president and CEO of of Cutting Edge Technology and Streetwise Security Products. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. Matthew Gallagher, you started following. Thank you so much for following, Matthew Gallagher. Now, okay, I got to give you the Scared Lady song. Oh my gosh, Matthew, you had to start following while we have Mr. Ray Gilbarte. Now he's going to have to hear me sing, and he's going to be like, oh my gosh, what kind of person is interviewing me? So we're going to give you the little birthday song, because I don't have all the bells and whistles that a lot of the other creators have to do the, amazing theater type stuff with their electronic devices. Here he goes, Matthew Gallagher. Thank you for following me. Thank you from security. Thank you for following the security lady. That's me. Yay!
Well done.
So, and Matthew, feel free to, thank you. Kiss and hugs to you, Matthew Gallagher. Feel free to ask Mr. Ray Gilbarte. Again, you do have the president and CEO of Cutting Edge Technology and Streetwise Security Products sitting here with you. So it's a unique opportunity to ask him any questions as it relates to personal protection, the home business security products that he has and his experience in this field. He had an amazing story, so make sure you go back when you get a chance. I know this is Prime Day, so you're trying to get some great deals. When you get a chance, go back and review this live stream on the replay, and you'll see his story. It's just really, really wonderful that you started out like that and created a big company. How many products again did you say you have altogether?
About 500.
500. That's impressive. Especially starting out riding your bicycle, basically one pepper spray at a time.
Yeah, it's baby steps, just like anything else you do over time. As long as you're making a little bit of progress each day, over time it adds up and grows, and so it just kind of shows the value of habits and doing the same thing in the same direction over time, and it gets there.
Wonderful. Now you have this police strength pepper spray. let me see, we're on the carousel right here. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Where's that? Right there. Highlighting that. The Streetwise, which has 42 reviews and has a nice amount of stars, has 4 point something stars. I think, what is that? 4 point, let me see that real quick. Has, yeah, nice, 4.4 out of 5 stars. What makes that police strength? What's the difference between police strength and regular people strength?
Yeah, so we have a Streetwise brand pepper spray, which is we call it the 18, and then the police force is 23, and the 18 stands for 180 what's called Scoville heat units. That's the measurement they use to determine how hot the pepper is. The police force 23 is 230 square feet. So the difference of 180 versus 230. So both of them will do the job, but the 230 is, so the 180 is at the top end of the civilian strength. We rated a lot of our competitors. There's an independent lab that kind of tests how hot they are, and we rated a lot of other brands that are on the market, and the 180 came out at the high end for civilian, and the 230 came out at the high end for police strength. So the tagline there is we say police strength protection available to civilians. So if if you want something's a little bit less money, you have a little economical version with the Streetwise. But if you want to get the strongest that you can get, then the police force is a good choice.
Very, very, very nice. Now, what about an adult? They have, because I want them to hear this from you. Do they need to obey or even look at any of the local, state, and federal laws in their areas as it relates to pepper spray, or no?
It'd be a good idea to keep them keep them out of jail, or out of a fine. Yeah, fortunately, the trend for both pepper spray and stun guns is that they're trending that more areas are allowing them. Back previously, there were probably 7 or 8 states that didn't allow pepper sprays and stun guns. So we list the laws on our at least by state on the website, or maybe you have a place where they could reference those per state. But there's really only a couple of states where pepper spray now and stun guns are not legal. But what you want to be careful with is even though a state may have illegal, you could have a local municipality or a particular county or city that says it's not legal in that particular city. So it is good to check both state and local laws just to be sure that you're covered from a legal aspect.
That's a very good point. I'm glad you mentioned that the way you just said it, about even though one law may be covered, another may not, like dealing with hemp products. It was covered. A lot of states went for it, but the federal still didn't. And so you had to be really, really careful. And I know with different armed weapon laws, you would go you could go from Indiana to up to another state north, and you could carry an armed weapon in that place.
Right.
But the way that you travel, if you went through Illinois and got pulled over,
right. Yeah.
You're in trouble.
That's true. Yeah. So you do want to be sure that you're knowledgeable and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And know, guys, where you're traveling to. Some people personally who have gotten on airplanes with their stun gun in their carry-on. But I'm pretty sure that should not be happening, but it happens. So just because someone has told you that, well, it's okay because I did it and they didn't say anything, doesn't mean it's okay for you.
Right.
So,
sure.
What about, there's a product here where I think it's, the light, the motion light. How effective are those motion lights?
I know we have a couple of different ones. What's the brand?
Solar one, the Safe Zone Solar Motion LED light.
Okay. Yeah, and I believe that is one. I think that one is just the light, not the alarm, right? And we have a couple.
Correct, just the light
ones. Yeah. So basically, it's a motion activated light that you just lights up when you go by. So kind of a neat thing with that one is it's only using the power from electricity, obviously, when you're there, so it's not staying on all night. And then plus, it does give the kind of the element of surprise if someone's sneaking up to a house at night, trying to be quiet and hide in the dark, and that light turns on. That could be something that could scare somebody away as it attracts attention to that person. So yeah, it's a kind of inexpensive alternative to something being hardwired, cheaper than hiring an electrician to come in and install a hardwired lighting system.
Okay, now there is one product that you've had for years, and I know because I got it when it first came out, and it's still being sold, and it's amazing. I've used it, my brothers use it, my mother's used it, all 3 of my children have used it, and that is this product right here, the Streetwise security product, Streetwise electronic watchdog.
Ah, okay, all right. Yeah,
Tell us about that.
yeah, that's a really interesting product. Basically, it uses radar to sense someone walking up to the front of your house. So you have this alarm. It's like a small box that you put on the inside of the house, and it uses radar to see, so to speak, through the house, and it covers a range of 15 feet or so, 10 to 15 feet in front of the house. So when someone walks up to your house, they hear a dog bark on the inside. So obviously they don't know that it's not a real dog. It's a realistic barking sound. What makes it even sound more realistic is the fact that they're inside and they're hearing it, through the walls of the house, so it will be muffled anyway. So yeah, it just gives the idea, especially if you're not at home or you're even, at night, it's enough to wake up a person. Really just letting you know that someone has approached the house. More importantly, that person coming up at the house, again, trying to be quiet, trying to be stealth, trying to sneak up there, and they get close to the house, and then a dog starts barking. So yeah, that's a pretty neat product.
It really is. One thing that really amazes me about that as well, how in the world did you make or get a product that goes through the door? I mean, literally, you can be on the outside of the house and how does it know that?
Yeah, it's a lot of the some of the motion sensor ones just work off sensing motion. So you've got to be, line of sight. You have to be, right next to it. But this just uses they call it radar detection technology, where it is actually able to do it through the wall, the way radar is able to get through a wall, and sense what's on the other side, which is, and obviously you want to put it in a place. You want to put it in front of a window where someone can see, that what it is there. You want to put it in front of a door or something solid, so that they can't see what's causing the sound of the barking on the other side. So yeah.
For those of you who are listening, that is the product that I just clicked off of that was on there in the carousel. Take a good look at that product, because that is a very, very good price for an amazing product, very durable. How many years ago did you come out with that?
Wow, it's a good question. It's probably been at least 15. I know it's been a while. And what I've heard people do that I thought was a really good idea is, in addition to that, take like some old meat or something, and put it in a big dog bowl on the outside of the house and write killer on it, or some real intimidating, dog name, with a large bowl. And then someone comes to the house and they see the bowl and they hear the dog barking as an added effect, just to kind
That
of.
is a great idea. That's a really, really good tip. Okay, let's. I have to be careful about when I say stun guns. That's one thing, but when I say something without the stun on it, I think the Amazon somehow stops the stream, from what I understand. So I'm not going to say that word. But the Streetwise, you know what it says: magnet rubberized magnetic holster. 35. How? I mean, how's that a magnetic holster? What kind of holster is that?
Magnetic, is it just the bar, like the black magnetic bar?
Ah, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's the one that holds it in place, holds the unspoken item
Wow.
space. So it's a very powerful bar, and you could put that under a desk or mount it to the car or side of the bed or to a wall, and the self-defense item would stick up against that, and then you'd have quick access to it, where it's not going to fall off, but you could grab it quickly when you needed it in a panic type situation.
Wow, that is definitely, definitely, definitely unique. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, yeah. And the neat thing is you can put it either on the top or on the side, so it gives you several different ways to mount it.
So for those of you who you do a lot of target practicing and you do a lot of things like that, or you are licensed to have concealed things like this, then this may be a great thing for you to have. Make sure you keep it in a place that's not accessible to children, and that you have it around only places that are super safe or that only you have access to. keep all those things in mind, because this is about personal protection and home business security and the protection and security and safety of your family and your loved ones. We don't want anything negative happening because you weren't super cautious with your things. This has been wonderful. And I am just not really, I enjoy this so much. I'm just so passionate about these things, right? That I have gone way over your time. And so I appreciate you so much for being here and your patience with me.
Well, sure.
If,
I like that was that was unique. I hadn't heard that before, so I don't know how we did that, but that was cool.
how we did what? I'm sorry.
Echo. That was unique.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll see if I can figure out how I did that, because I have no idea how I did that.
Well, it was great to meet you. I appreciate what you're doing, keeping everybody safe and working hard to do that and getting the word out there and promoting the product. So thanks
Thank
for
you so
what you do.
much. Are there any last things that you'd like to say? Any special words of encouragement or anything that you want to lead this on to let the people know X, Y, or Z?
No, I guess the final thing I would say is just, in a self-defense situation, just to be sure that you are prepared and that, that you're ready. And whether it's security for your home or security for yourself, there's a story that's told about two guys that were out hunting, and an aggressive bear approached him, and one guy stopped and took off his hiking shoes and put on his running shoes. And the other guy looks at his friend and says, I don't know why you're doing that. You're not going to be able to outrun that bear. And he said, I don't have to. I just have to outrun you. So not that we're in competition with each other for self-defense, but the mindset there is that the attacker, the bad guy that is looking for the most vulnerable house, most vulnerable. And if you have some type of self-defense, or you have some type of security on your house, or the barking dog alarm, whatever it is, you're making yourself a less attractive target to somebody who's looking for the most attractive or the easiest target that they can find. And you just don't want to be that person or that house or that property. So whatever it is, you just be sure that you have something that you are preparing yourself with.
Wow, great advice, great words of advice and encouragement. Guys, you've heard it straight from the president and CEO of Cutting Edge Technology, Streetwise Security Products, Mr. Ray Gilbarty. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next live stream.